The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 8 doesn't just tease another summer love story. It feels like the final storm before the calm. Every frame is loaded with heartbreak, longing, and the clash between two brothers who love the same girl. Jeremiah and Conrad are no longer just rivals in love. They're standing at the edge of losing everything, and Belly is caught in the middle of a battle that could change all of their lives forever. The very first seconds of the trailer set the mood. The screen fades in with the sound of crashing waves, a reminder that every summer in Cousins Beach carries both beauty and destruction. The camera lingers on the Fisher Beach house, the place where so many memories were born, first kisses, broken hearts, promises that never lasted. But this time, the house doesn't look warm and safe. It looks like a stage for the final act, where the love triangle that has defined the entire series is reaching its most dangerous point. We see Jeremiah first, standing slightly apart from everyone else, his eyes following Belly like she is the only thing anchoring him to this moment. His face is softer than ever, filled with both love and fear, as if he knows that time is running out. The trailer doesn't give us his words right away, but the silence speaks louder. Jeremiah has always been the boy who wore his heart on his sleeve, but now, for the first time, there's a weight to him. It's not just about wanting Belly. It's about needing to prove he's more than the second choice, more than the boy who always stood in his brother's shadow. Then the shot cuts to Conrad. He isn't smiling and he isn't reaching for Belly. Instead, we see him in the distance, leaning against a wall, arms crossed, his eyes dark with thoughts he can't say out loud. This is Conrad at his most complicated, torn between his love for Belly and his inability to fight for her in the way she needs. The trailer uses light carefully here. Jeremiah is shown in warm tones, golden sunlight brushing his skin, while Conrad is framed in colder shades, shadows falling across his face. It's a simple but powerful way of showing the brothers' roles. Jeremiah is hope, openness, and possibility. Conrad is doubt, distance, and fear. Belly appears between them, almost literally. She walks into the shot, her expression unsure, her body language tense. She's not the girl from season 1 who laughed her way through crushes and summer days. She's someone who has been broken, healed, and broken again, standing at the crossroads of her future. Her eyes flicker between Jeremiah and Conrad, as if the choice is too heavy to carry but too impossible to escape. The trailer's background music swells here, a slow, almost haunting version of a summer song we've heard before, now twisted into something sadder. It signals that this isn't just about who Belly will kiss or hold hands with. It's about who she will build her life around, and what she's willing to lose in the process. The voiceover, faint in the background, whispers Conrad's words, "You know I'll always love you." It's not shouted, not pleaded, but almost resigned, as if he already knows that his time is slipping away. Immediately after, Jeremiah's voice cuts in, strong and clear. "I'm not letting you go. Not this time." The contrast is heartbreaking, one brother stepping back, the other stepping forward, and Belly standing frozen in between. The camera pulls back to a wide shot of Cousins Beach, the sky painted with the colors of sunset, both beautiful and fleeting. It feels like the end of summer, the end of innocence, the end of pretending that love can be simple. The trailer makes it clear, this episode isn't about who Belly loves more. It's about which love she can live with, and which love she might have to let go of forever. In the trailer, Jeremiah's presence feels stronger than ever before. For 2 seasons, he has lived in the shadows of Conrad's intensity, often painted as the lighter, easier option, the boy who smiles, jokes, and hides his heartbreak behind laughter. But in Season 3, Episode 8, that image cracks wide open. The trailer shows us a Jeremiah who is no longer just the fun brother. He is the one standing in the fire, ready to fight, ready to bleed, and above all, ready to love without fear. The first big Jeremiah moment comes with him looking directly at Belly, his eyes steady, his voice trembling but determined as he says, "I'm not letting you go." Not this time? It's a simple line, but the weight behind it changes everything. Those words are not about the present alone. They are about every summer, every moment he stood by while Conrad's silence pulled Belly away from him. Jeremiah is claiming his Chance, not as a rebound, not as a second choice, but as someone who knows exactly what he wants and will not step aside this time, visually. The trailer highlights Jeremiah in sunlight, surrounded by warmth. Every time he appears, the frame is brighter, as though the universe itself wants us to see him as the light in Belly's life. There's one shot where he reaches out his hand, not in a desperate grab, but in a steady offer. His hand doesn't shake. His expression doesn't falter. For once, Jeremiah looks like the man who can carry the weight of love. Not just the boy chasing after it, but the trailer also lets us glimpse his vulnerability. There's a scene where Jeremiah is shown alone, sitting by the beach at dusk, staring at the horizon. His face is soft, almost broken, as if he's bracing for the possibility that Belly may still choose Conrad. The shot lasts only a few seconds, but it says so much. Jeremiah knows that even if he gives everything, love isn't always fair. Still, unlike Conrad, he is willing to risk rejection, humiliation, and heartbreak if it means fighting for her. That's the core difference between the two brothers. Jeremiah would rather lose honestly than win by silence. One of the most powerful moments in the trailer shows Jeremiah confronting Conrad. The scene is brief, but the tension is undeniable. He stands firm, shoulders squared, voice low but sharp. "You had your chance. You let her go. I won't." This isn't just sibling rivalry anymore. It's a declaration of war, not in anger, but in truth. Jeremiah isn't cruel, but he is brutally honest, and for the first time, we see him standing toe-to-toe with Conrad, refusing to be the shadow. Belly's reaction to Jeremiah in the trailer is complicated. In some shots, we see her smiling faintly. When he looks at her, almost as if she feels safe in his certainty. In others, she pulls back, her eyes heavy with guilt. The trailer doesn't give us her choice, but it gives us her conflict. Jeremiah is offering her a love that is open, clear, and present. He doesn't hide his feelings, and he doesn't make her guess. Yet the question lingers, is that enough when a piece of her heart still belongs to someone else? The music swells again as Jeremiah's scenes unfold. Instead of the soft, melancholic tones that follow Conrad, Jeremiah's background is filled with rising, hopeful notes, almost like a promise. The contrast is intentional. The trailer wants us to feel Jeremiah's love as the brighter path, the choice that leads to healing and growth. It frames him as the boy who finally stepped out of the background and became the man willing to fight for his place in Belly's story. Still, the trailer doesn't let us forget that Jeremiah's love comes with risks. A fleeting shot shows him with tears in his eyes, his face pressed into his hands as if the weight of it all is almost too much. This reminder grounds him, keeping him human. Jeremiah may be fighting, but he is also terrified. Terrified of losing Belly, terrified of losing Conrad as his brother, terrified of ending the summer with nothing. That fragility, though, is what makes him real. By the end of his section in the trailer, Jeremiah stands in the sunlight again, his hand stretched toward Belly. The final shot before the scene cuts away leaves us with an image of hope, or maybe a question: will Belly take his hand? Will she finally choose the boy who refuses to let her go? Or will Jeremiah's courage be remembered as the bravest loss of all? The trailer gives us no answer, but it makes one thing clear. Jeremiah is no longer the background character. He is no longer just the boy in Conrad's shadow. He is the man standing at the center of the battle, and for the first time we feel that he might actually win. Asterisk, if Jeremiah is the storm that rushes forward, Conrad is the tide that pulls back, quiet, heavy, unrelenting. The trailer makes this contrast crystal clear. Where Jeremiah is fire, Conrad is ice. Where Jeremiah speaks his heart openly, Conrad buries his in silence. And yet, in those silences, in those shadows, we find a different kind of love, one that is tortured, consuming, and impossible to escape. The first time we see Conrad in the trailer, he isn't smiling or reaching out. He's alone, leaning against the wall of the beach house, eyes fixed on Belly as though she's already slipping away from him. His body language is all restraint, arms folded, jaw tight, shoulders tense. It's the image of someone who loves so deeply but cannot allow himself to show it, at least not fully. This has always been Conrad's tragedy. His feelings are oceans, but he only lets people see ripples. The trailer underlines this with sound design. When Conrad appears, the music shifts to slower, sadder notes, almost like the fading echo of a song. His love story with Belly has always carried this weight, the sense of inevitability and loss. Even when he is present, he feels far away, like he's already mourning something that hasn't ended yet. Then comes his voice. Soft, almost breaking, Conrad whispers, "You know I'll always love you." It isn't a plea and it isn't a promise. It's a confession, spoken like a goodbye. Those words land differently from Jeremiah's fiery declaration. They aren't about fighting. They're about surrender. But is it surrender to Jeremiah, to Belly's choice, or to Conrad's own fear of ruining her happiness? The trailer doesn't answer, but it lingers long enough for us to feel the ache in his silence. There is a scene where Conrad's restraint cracks. He turns away from the others, eyes burning, and we hear him mutter, "I can't lose her again." The rawness in that line is striking. This isn't the calm, brooding Conrad we usually see. This is the boy beneath the armor, terrified of watching the love of his life slip through his hands for the second time. That single line reframes everything. Conrad may act distant, but inside his love for Belly is still alive, still consuming him, still shaping every choice he makes. The trailer also hints at a direct confrontation between the brothers. Jeremiah's voice is sharp, accusing, but Conrad's response is quieter, almost mournful. He doesn't argue, he doesn't shout. Instead, he simply looks at his brother with pain in his eyes, as though he knows Jeremiah is right. He did have his chance. He did let Belly go. But here's the unspoken truth. Conrad let her go not because he didn't love her, but because he loved her too much. Because in his mind, stepping back was the only way to protect her, even if it meant losing her, visually. Conrad is almost always framed in colder tones, twilight skies, dimly lit rooms, shadows creeping along his face. It's a stark contrast to Jeremiah's golden light. This visual storytelling tells us that Conrad is the love that hurts, the love that lingers in the dark, the love that burns quietly but never goes out. Belly is caught between those two lights, the warmth of Jeremiah's openness and the chill of Conrad's mystery. One of the most haunting shots of Conrad in the trailer shows him sitting on the porch steps of the beach house at night, alone, his face hidden in his hands. The sound of distant laughter echoes from inside the house, reminding us that life is moving on without him. That image feels symbolic, Conrad as the outsider, watching happiness slip away from him while he sits in his grief. But it also feels like a warning. Even when he tries to step aside, his heart won't let him. Belly's reaction to Conrad in the trailer is telling. When her eyes meet his, there's a weight there that isn't present with Jeremiah, with Conrad. Her gaze is heavier, sadder, as though she knows loving him means carrying both joy and pain. It's a look that says, "I can't let you go, but I can't hold on to you either." That duality has always defined their relationship, the magnetic pull that never quite resolves. The trailer doesn't show Conrad fighting openly for Belly, but it doesn't need to. His fight is quieter, internal, and just as devastating. While Jeremiah declares, Conrad endures. While Jeremiah reaches, Conrad retreats. And yet, that retreat makes his presence all the more powerful. Because love isn't only about holding on. Sometimes, it's about the agony of letting go, and Conrad embodies that truth completely. As the trailer draws toward its midpoint, we're left with Conrad framed against the fading light of dusk. His silhouette looks small, almost swallowed by the horizon. It's as if the world is telling us that his love story is ending, but the depth of his silence suggests otherwise. Conrad may be stepping back, but his love hasn't died. It's still there, buried under restraint, waiting to break free. And so, the question lingers, is Conrad truly letting Belly go, or is he simply waiting for the moment when she realizes she can't let him go either? Asterisk if Jeremiah is the boy who fights and Conrad is the boy who retreats. Then Belly is the heart caught in between, the one who must carry the weight of both loves and decide which one she can live with. The trailer for The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3 Episode 8 gives us our clearest look yet at her conflict. And it isn't painted in broad strokes. It's subtle, fragile, almost suffocating. Belly's story has never been about choosing the easier path. It has always been about finding who she truly is when the summer ends. And this trailer shows us just how heavy that decision will be. One of the most striking shots of Belly in the trailer comes when she's walking along the shoreline. The waves lapping at her feet, her arms wrapped around herself as though trying to hold in all the emotions tearing her apart. Her eyes flicker with longing, regret, and fear all at once. This isn't the dreamy summer girl who blushed at first kisses. This is someone who has been tested by heartbreak, who has lived through both joy and loss, and now must stand on the edge of something final. The summer is ending, and with it, her innocence. Throughout the trailer, Belly is shown reacting differently to each brother. With Jeremiah, her expression is softer, almost relieved. She smiles faintly when he speaks. And there's a sense of safety in the way she looks at him. Jeremiah offers her certainty, a love that is open, bright, and without hidden walls. But with Conrad, her reactions are heavier. When his voice whispers, "You know I'll always love you," we see Belly close her eyes, as if the words strike somewhere deep inside her that she can't ignore. It's the look of someone who knows this love has hurt her, but also shaped her in ways she cannot escape. The trailer plays with this duality beautifully. In one moment, Belly is laughing with Jeremiah under golden sunlight, his arm brushing. Hers like a promise of a safe future. In the next, she's standing inches away from Conrad in the shadows of the beach house, their silence louder than any declaration. These contrasts are deliberate, reminding us that Belly's choice isn't between good and bad, but between two truths: the boy who makes her feel safe and the boy she can't let go of, even when she tries. Foreshadowing threads itself through the visuals. The recurring imagery of sunsets suggests endings, while the crashing waves symbolize change that cannot be stopped. The use of light, Jeremiah's golden glow versus Conrad's twilight shadows, is no accident. It hints that Belly's decision may be less about who she loves, more and more about who represents the future she wants to step into. Is she choosing light, stability, and openness with Jeremiah? Or is she surrendering to the darker, more complicated pull of Conrad, knowing it won't ever be simple, but may be the kind of love that defines her forever? Another moment worth noting comes when Belly whispers, almost to herself, "I don't know if I can do this anymore." The trailer doesn't reveal who she's speaking to, but the line carries a finality, like a breaking point. Whether she's talking about the love triangle itself, the burden of choosing, or the weight of losing someone she cares for, the words suggest that episode 8 will force her to act, not just linger in indecision. And then comes the most haunting sequence of the trailer. Belly standing between the two brothers as they face each other, silent, the tension thick enough to cut through. Neither boy speaks, and Belly's face shifts between them, her expression torn. It feels like the visual embodiment of the entire series, the girl at the center of two loves, realizing that no matter what, choosing one means losing the other. Predictions for episode 8 are as heavy as the trailer itself. The build-up suggests that we're heading toward a breaking point, a confession, a fight, or perhaps a heartbreaking sacrifice. One possible outcome is Belly finally choosing Jeremiah, stepping into the light of a love that feels stable and certain. Another is Conrad making one last move, pulling her back into the orbit she's never truly escaped. And yet, the trailer leaves space for something else entirely, the possibility that Belly may walk away from both, realizing that she needs to find herself before she can fully belong to anyone else. Thematically, Episode 8 feels like it will mark the end of something bigger than just a love triangle. The tone of the trailer suggests closure, whether it's the closing of one chapter of Belly's life or the closing of the Fisher brothers' battle for her heart. The sunset imagery, the wistful music, and the heavy silence all point toward a climax that isn't just romantic but deeply transformative. As the trailer fades to black, we're left with one last unanswered question. Who will Belly choose when the summer finally ends? Will it be Jeremiah, the boy who refuses to let her go, offering her light and safety? Will it be Conrad, the boy whose love she cannot escape, no matter how painful? Or will it be neither, as Belly steps into a new season of her life, free from the weight of choosing between two brothers? The trailer doesn't give us answers, but it does promise one thing: Episode 8 will not be just another summer memory. It will be the moment that defines the love battle once and for all.